What's up, everyone? My channel is mainly about the Pokemon TCG, One Piece, and video games. But today, I want to talk about Yu-Gi-Oh! Because before Pokemon became my favorite trading card game, before I started collecting Pokemon cards, there was Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh! Wasn't just my first trading card game, it was my childhood. And honestly, there was a time when I loved Yu-Gi-Oh! Even more than Pokemon. Now, before the Pokemon fans start attacking me, relax. I'm not going anywhere. Pokemon is still my favorite trading card game today, and it's probably always going to be my main game. I love Pokemon. I love opening Pokemon packs. I love building Pokemon decks. And I love making Pokemon content. That isn't changing. But growing up, Yu-Gi-Oh was different. If I got home from school and had to choose between watching Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh, I was choosing Yu-Gi-Oh every single time. For me, Yami Yugi was just a much cooler protagonist than Ash Ketchum. Now, don't get me wrong, Ash is an iconic character, but Yami Yugi had this presence every time he appeared. He barely had to say anything, and you just knew something epic was about to happen. Then there was Kaiba. Man, Kaiba was just cool. That drip that he always had, the white trench coat, the attitude, the confidence, everything about that guy screamed confidence. Even today, I think Kaiba is one of the coolest anime rivals ever created. And in my opinion, Yugi and Kaiba rivalry is right up there with Goku and Vegeta. That's how legendary it feels to me. Every time they dueled, it felt like an event. You knew something unforgettable was about to happen. Recently, I've been rewatching some of those old duels, and something really surprised me: the voice acting. As a kid, I never appreciated it, but watching it now, wow! Kaiba's voice actor absolutely nailed that character. The trash talking, the sarcasm, the confidence that the guy was absolutely savage. He roasted everybody.
Kaiba! Mokuba, you're okay! Ah, what a relief! We've been all worried.
Joey, you look like an overgrown monkey in that outfit.
Overgrown monkey? That's the thanks I get for coming to rescue me?
I actually found myself laughing because he never missed an opportunity to remind everyone that he thought that he was smarter and the best in the room.
Here.
Kaiba!
Why is a complete amateur like you wearing one of my dual discs, Wheeler?
Amateur? I'm going to the top.
Looks like someone screwed up at registration. I'll deal with you later. Come on, Mokuba. We've wasted enough time here.
Tristan, I think I feel a challenge coming on here.
Maybe you should save Kaiba for the finals, Joey.
Kaiba, you want a piece of me?
Joey?
You might want to rethink this.
Nobody disses me in front of my friends.
Joey, you're an okay duelist and all, but playing against you would be a complete waste of my big brother's time.
This won't take long.
Huh?
Let's rock and roll.
You fool! Looks like I'll have to teach you to behave, just like the dog you are.
That's one of the reasons I fell in love with Yu-Gi-Oh! The characters had a lot of personality. The rivalries felt real. Even the fashion made everyone memorable. Yugi, Kaiba, Joey, Pegasus, Bakura, Merrick, just to name a few of the old gen anime. Everybody had their own original identity. And then there were the duels. For me, watching Yu-Gi-Oh! The duels was way more exciting than watching Pokemon battles. Again, it's just an opinion. I still love Pokemon. I love the games, I love the anime, I love the TCG, I love everything about Pokemon. But Yu-Gi-Oh! Had something different. Watching Dark Magician appear, watching Blue Eyes White Dragon hit the field, or Red Eyes Black Dragon, finally came when he When Joey always summoned the Red Eyes, you felt it was special. Or hearing Exodia, obliterate.
Contain the unstoppable Exodia. I've assembled all 5 special cards, all 5 pieces of the puzzle.
Exodia! It's not possible! No one's ever been able to call him!
Exodia! Obliterate!
But how? How could I have lost to him?
You play only for power.
That that's legendary now. That's greatest. That's a gold line just to say it. Man, nothing beats that feeling. Those duels had some suspense, mind games, bluffs, huge comebacks. Every card draw felt important. Battle City, the Battle City arc for me was peak for Yu-Gi-Oh! I absolutely love it. One of my favorite one of my favorite memories growing up was playing Yu-Gi-Oh! With my brothers. My older brother, he used to have money. We were kids, so we didn't really have money, but he always bought like the starter decks, and he bought for every one of us. He bought the starter deck, but he bought his starter deck was from Kaiba, so he had the Blue Eyes White Dragon. I had Joey's starter deck with the Red Eyes Black Dragon, and my younger brother, if I'm not mistaken, he had the Yami Yugi starter deck with the Dark Magician. Looking back, we basically became those characters whenever we dueled. Whenever somebody summoned Blue Eyes, Dark Magician, or Red Eyes, it wasn't just another monster. It was the moment. It was the monster that was going to give you that victory. Those monsters actually felt legendary. And looking back now, they are legendary. I also remember buying booster packs and hoping I'd pull one of the monsters from the anime. Every pack felt exciting. Every card mattered. I think that's why I still love Pokemon packs today. I still love opening Pokemon packs. That feeling never left me. Every new card felt like it could make my deck stronger. And when my older brother beat me with Blue Eyes, man, I wanted revenge. So the day I finally beat him, I felt like I had won the World Championship. Those are memories I'll never forget. And it's not like I only loved the original Yu-Gi-Oh! I actually loved Yu-Gi-Oh! GX too. Jaden became one of my favorite protagonists, and I love that system of red, yellow, and blue to differentiate the levels in the school. That was interesting. Blue was like the highest level, the obelisk color. You know, every time you can sense that Kaiba was always scheming his, putting his DNA in those things, his little jabs towards Yugi. He went with the color system, and yeah, I digress. So I love Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, Jaden, but I absolutely love his deck. The Elemental Hero deck was awesome. It was one of my favorite decks in all of Yu-Gi-Oh! If someone asked me what favorite Yu-Gi-Oh! Archetype I would play again, maybe I would take Elemental Hero. Fusion summoning was just awesome too. Watching two monsters combine into one powerful hero always felt epic. And I also like in the first generation of Yu-Gi-Oh! The ritual summoning. That felt special too. It felt like you were performing some ancient ceremony to summon a legendary monster. Those summons felt earned. They felt meaningful. Oh, and here's a fun fact that some of you might not know. A lot of people ask me where the name Gears comes from. Well, it actually comes from Yu-Gi-Oh! One of my favorite cards growing up was Gear Soldier. So, in a way, even my online nickname exists because of Yu-Gi-Oh! I guess Yu-Gi-Oh has been part of my life for a lot longer than I realized. Another thing that never changed about me, I've never been a meta player. Even back then, I always preferred playing the underdog. I wasn't the kid trying to build the strongest deck in school. I wanted to play the decks and monsters that I thought were cool. I want to win with my favorites. Looking back, I don't think that's changed at all. If you've watched my videos of Pokemon, you already know I love rogue decks. Sure, I'll play meta decks from time to time, but what really excites me is taking an underrated deck and trying to make it work. There's just something satisfying about beating a top deck with something people didn't expect. Winning with a deck you generally love has always meant more to me than simply copying the strongest list online. Maybe that's why old school Yu-Gi-Oh meant so much to me. Back then, everyone had their own favorite monster, their own favorite deck, their own personality. You weren't just playing cards, you were playing your deck. Then things started to change. First came Synchro Summon.
Synchron with my Quillbolt Hedgehog and Tuning Supporter in order to Synchro Summon Road Fighter! Let's rev it up!
Road Fighter is a synchro monster that lets you summon a level 1 or level 2 monster from your deck once per turn.
Next, I'll tune level 3 Drill Synchron with level 1 Unicycler and level 2 Quillbolt Hedgehog to create a gargantuan that can grind through even the greatest garrisons of defense. I Synchro Summon Drill Warrior!
I wasn't completely against them. I remember thinking, okay, this is different. Then it came the XYZ monsters.
Please summon Ice Beast Zero Mine! I overlay both of my Ice Beast Zero Vines! With these two monsters, I build the overlay network! I exceed summon Ice Princess Zerion! I overlay my two stray cats and my monster cat to build the overlay network! I XC summon Twin Tail Cat Lady! Careful!
I overlay my 3 level 1 monsters in order to build the overlay network. Say hello to Baby Dragon. I now overlay Skull.
Again, I tried to keep an open mind. The game was evolving and I understood that. But then pendulum summoning happened. And that's honestly where I started losing a lot of interest.
I'll use Stargazer Magician and Time Gazer Magician to set the pendulum scale. I'm taking control of this duel starting now. I'm allowed to summon monsters from level 2 through 7 all at the same time.
What's that kid doing?
Swing far, Pendulum. Carve the arc of victory. My monsters are ready to swing into action!
How'd he do that?
Gato.
Now, before anyone gets upset, I'm not saying Pendulum is bad. I'm saying it's the worst thing that ever happened to Yu-Gi-Oh! This is just my personal experience, but I think that a lot of people agree with me on this. That was the moment the game stopped feeling like the Yu-Gi-Oh! I grew up with. At the same time, the anime also changed. Yugi was gone, Kaiba was gone, Joey was gone. Even though I loved GX, I just couldn't connect with the newer protagonists the same way. Maybe it's because I grew up. Maybe it's because I was attached to the original characters. I don't know, but something just felt different. Then the card game itself evolved into something I barely recognize today. Whenever I watch modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Gameplay, I honestly have no idea what's happening. Players spend 10 to 15 minutes per turn There's searching, special summoning, sending cards to the graveyard, bringing them back, link summoning, synchro summoning, XYZ summoning, your mama summoning, and before the other player even gets to play, there's already a full board waiting for them. I'm sitting there thinking, what just happened? Is this really fun? And why is it fun? Maybe it's an incredible game once you understand it. Maybe it's more skillful than ever. I'm not saying it isn't. I'm just saying from the outside looking in, I feel completely lost. Sometimes I watch a replay hoping I'll understand it, and somehow I end up even more confused. That's a weird feeling because this was once the game I knew better than any other. Now here's where things get interesting. Recently, my brother got back into Yu-Gi-Oh! He's buying cards again, building decks, playing again, and every time we talk, he tells me, dude, you should give it another shot. It's the best TCG, it's better than Pokemon. And honestly, part of me really wants to. Every time I walk past the Yu-Gi-Oh! Section at the store, that little kid inside me gets excited. I still stop and look at the packs. I still recognize some of the monsters. And for a few seconds, it feels like I'm a kid again. But then I watch gameplay online, and I'm completely lost all over again. Every card has what it feels like an entire paragraph of text. There are thousands of new cards. And also about the card text, it's like reading the Bible. And I love reading the Bible, but come on, you don't want to spend reading the Bible or Yu-Gi-Oh! Bible, in this case, during your TCG gameplay. But that's just my opinion. These are thousands of new cards, crazy combo lines, mechanics I barely understand. It honestly feels overwhelming. I started hearing something that really caught my attention. Toon decks are getting support. Exodia is getting support. The Egyptian Gothards are getting support. When I heard that, something clicked, because those are the decks, those are the monsters of my childhood that made me fall in love with Yu-Gi-Oh! In the first place. So now I'm honestly thinking, do I give Yu-Gi-Oh! Another chance? Do I finally listen to my little brother? Or do I stick with what I already love, Pokemon? And maybe finally jump into the One Piece trading card game instead, because if you know me, One Piece is my favorite anime and manga of all time. I've always wanted to give that game a real chance, but that's a conversation for another video. So now, I need your help. If you're an old school Yu-Gi-Oh! Player, is modern Yu-Gi-Oh! really worth coming back to? Can classic decks like Elemental Heroes, Toons, Exodia, or the Egyptian Guard cards actually compete and still be fun? Or has the game simply become something completely different from the one we grew up with? I'm genuinely want to know. So convince me, tell me why I should come back, or tell me why I shouldn't. I'm going to read every single comment, and here's my promise. If enough of you convince me, I'll do it. I'll buy my first Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck in years. I'll let my brother teach me modern Yu-Gi-Oh! From scratch. I'll download the game on Xbox and live stream some gameplay. Not pretending I know everything, not acting like an expert, just an old school duelist trying to find out if modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Can win me back. If I end up loving it, you'll see it. If I end up hating it, you'll see that too. Believe me, you will. Either way, it'll be honest. So if you enjoyed this trip down memory lane, just me ranting or telling my side of the story or talking about my childhood game, my childhood favorite anime. So if you enjoyed this trip down to memory lane, hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, and tell me in the comments what was your favorite Yu-Gi-Oh! Memory, your favorite duel, your favorite monster, or your favorite deck. For me, it'll always be those afternoons playing with my brothers, summoning Red Eyes, Blue Eyes, a Dark Magician, thinking we were Joey, Kaiba, and Yugi. Those are memories I'll never forget. And maybe, just maybe, it's time for this old school duelist to believe in the heart of the cards one more time. I'll see you guys in the next one.
Hello?
Hey brother.
Hi.
I'm coming back. I'll try it, just like you said. So you said that Toon decks are coming back?
Yeah.